Thank you, Michael. So, hi everybody, I'm Thomas from CommitStrip. So nice to see you. In fact, I'm very happy to be here in Toulouse. It's the first time for me I am here in Toulouse. And I remember I had a talk with the Eclipse team. They told me, okay, Thomas, you can come in Toulouse. You will have to do the speech in English. So as you can see, I'm totally fluent in English. That's not an issue. So I asked Gaël, what about my accent in French? He said, no worry about the accent. Just you don't do mistakes. So I was thinking about 2-3 solutions to avoid mistakes. So the first idea was maybe I could do it in French with a translator just nearby, just translating the jokes. Hey, salut, je suis Thomas. Hi, I'm Thomas from CommitStrip. So I was thinking maybe it would not work very well. Second option, I was thinking to just do it in French and write the joke in English on the screen. Not great, not perfect. One of the options, also the third option, was to write all the text in English here in front of me. It's more or less done, but that's a secret. But I choose to do the best option, in fact, to do mistakes. So sorry about the mistakes. So I'm just going to switch. Okay. So I'm having an awesome time here in Toulouse. I hope you also, you're learning loads at this EclipseCon. This is the second day. So last time I was saying to my mom, so I'm going to Toulouse, the pink city. So I'm discovering the terracotta bricks in Toulouse. So that's why we call this the pink city, la ville rose. And so my mom told me, oh, you are going to Toulouse and you are going to do computer things. Well, this is the pink city and I guess we are doing some kind of computer things. Indeed, we're unlucky enough to be one of to work in a field where if we don't pay attention or if we don't constantly explain and re-explain what we are doing, at the end, we are all doing something with computer. So last time I decided to explain to my mom, one and for all, what is our job, what we are doing, why we are coders, developers, engineers, and why we like it. So friends, colleagues, welcome to maybe the most complex, in-depth technological session of this entire conference, explaining code to my mom. So I started by explaining to my mom that I'm a coder, of course. I code applications. So she told me, but I thought you were an engineer, that you were developing software. So that's true. It's not exactly the same thing. It's not exactly the same thing. So I started to explain the differences between a coder, an engineer, webmaster, I don't know. So coders, as you might imagine, they write code. On the other side, engineer, they code as well. And we have also some other kind of people, maybe you are part of them. So there are some lead devs also coding. The DevOps, it's quite trendy today. DevOps are coding also. We have the data engineer. We have even the full stack developer or the computer programmer. Everybody is coding. We are building apps, programs, applications, software. Everybody is coding. At this point, she stopped and said, oh, it's like Jeremy. Jeremy who used to live next door, your friend. I said, no. Jeremy's job is completely different. Jeremy is a sysadmin. Yes, maybe there are some standing here, they will only agree. So Jeremy and we used to mess around with computer. We discovered, in fact, computer together. At that time, I remember it was around 1995 for me. We, like everyone else, we had only one question on our mind: Pentium or 486? Hey. Fortunately, Personal Computer Magazine, PC Magazine, and in France also l'Ordinateur Individuel, was here to help us with a bundled CD-ROM, a test to know if we were ready for Windows 95. Was I ready? Was I ready? Even if the only computer I ever touched at this moment was an old IBM machine with 2 floppy drives in technology class. But one day, my father came home with a computer. I remember there were not so many manufacturers. Maybe you can remember. There was Dell, HP, even Apple. Apple was already there. So my father, he came back with Packard Bell. A Packard Bell, but it was better than nothing, of course. But above all, it was a Pentium. It was the beast here. 100 megahertz, 8 megabytes of RAM on Windows 95. Yeah. But don't forget, back then, with no internet, no cracks, not much open source program, computer dealers had one huge selling point: the bundled programs. With Packard Bell, you had 40 included programs. The bare minimum, in fact. And I remember some of them. The first one, very important, CorelDRAW. I don't know if anybody already used CorelDRAW. Then, the mythical or mystical Echo the Dolphin. And of course, Microsoft Works, which was, in fact, pretty useful. I also remember that when we ran into a small issue, a small problem with one program or another, there was one option that unfortunately no longer exists: the turbo button. The carefully guarded secrets of how that button worked are only known to a select few experts among us. But I can already see some people here saying, "Oh, kid, you're just a kid, your first PC was a Pentium 100 megahertz. It's true, I'm still a youngster in the world of computing. So I want to pay tribute today to those who started on this kind of Texas Instrument 99, almost 30 years ago, more, or those who started to program with this kind of Epson Abacus with 2 floppy drives. But I guess some of you started with a Commodore 64 with 1 megahertz of processor and 64 kilobytes of memory. Well done, guys. But in my generation, so let's say the Windows 95 generation, there was one thing that made us more exciting than anything else. It was the accessories menu. It was a real treasure trove. In fact, you could find a whole bunch of amazing stuff there. First, the magnifying glass, you know? you could spend your whole afternoon to magnify your screen and you were happy. Or the sound recorder. You could fill your hard disk with huge WAV file of you just saying 1, 2, 1, 2.
And in reverse.
Yeah, in reverse. But some hackers even had a solution to in fact work around the length limits at that time already. So awesome, really awesome. Third thing, the notepad, and its much cooler brother, the WordPad, and the calculator in scientific mode, of course. So many buttons, so many buttons. But I cannot forget one, the best of them all, Paint. Paint, it was crazy. I remember the first time you open Paint, what you do, you write your name. So you take the mouse, you write your name, and then you realize that it's really shitty. So I remember I was saying to Jeremy, my friend, oh, your mouse sucks at writing. But I was not very worried because I already knew that later in my career I would be able to draw clip art on Paint. So I guess all this clip art was, of course, created on Paint. But there was one thing that still today give me goosebumps. It's this screensaver. In fact, in my memory, this was kind of Retina HD, but well. So, but me and Jeremy didn't just browse the accessories menu. Of course, like any good future coder or developer, we scrolled the Windows directory and clicked on every .exe. You can find a lot of .exe on the Windows folder. Most of the time, nothing happened. But I remember this day where I clicked on defrag.exe. I spent days on this, just looking at the little blue box. Unfortunately, today with the SSD, we are losing that. But once I finished to click on all the .exe of the Windows directory, we ended up to buying software. Yes, we are buying software or games. I remember the first one. So you go to the shop, you buy a big boxes, you are happy. And for me, it was Half-Life, Gordon Freeman. You remember? So you buy the software, you come back at home, you read the box. You realize that you need 50 more MB to install it. And then you have the best idea you have in a while, you ask an expert to solve the solution, to solve the problem. You ask your best buddy. So my friend Jeremy, 12-year-old expert, but so he checking that and he said, do you really need this System32 program? So, of course, you can guess the rest. Except that my dad needed to use the computer to make the menu for my sister's wedding on Publisher, Microsoft Publisher. So, clearly, at this moment, so off, we went to Boulanger. Boulanger, it's kind of Best Buy, okay? So, and there, the miracle. A fresh, brand new Windows. I can tell you, the feeling of a new Windows installation, it's kind of a miracle, the new OS. So, after all of this, messing around with when we were kids, breaking computers, Jeremy and me, we decided but we wanted of course to make it our day job. Yes, we'll become developer, engineers. So let's go to the school, to the IT engineering school. So who do you meet at the engineering school? Your classmates. You remember of them? So I'm sure some of them you remember too. So the first one, there was the one who was only there to use the super fast internet connection. You don't know what he is going to download. Then there was the overachiever. While you are deleting System 32, this guy is taking a Cisco certification. Okay, nice, fine. And you love coding. Yeah, but there was some people in the IT school, they didn't like to code. They didn't like coding. What they want? They want to become a project manager. We need some project manager. But in fact, you did not know everybody. Of course, you didn't know everybody. I would say there are some people you even saw for the first time at graduation. Yeah, but there is definitely one person. You know the name. You know what programs they're on, what classes they're taking. You know this is in fact the girl. But there is one last guy. I was quite impressed, but it's kind of a mix of incomprehension and admiration. The guy would pay 10,000 euros to go at school and don't come. You don't know what his life is. The guy is paying 10,000, 5,000 to come, and he's not coming. That's how you end up a coder. And I remember after my studies, in fact, I was lucky enough to meet an old coder who gave me some excellent advices. He told me, Thomas, to become a coder and succeed in life, there are some essential skills that you absolutely need to master. First, know how to install a printer. No one will teach you this at school, and that's a mistake, because sooner or later, you of course will face this challenge in your career. One day, I installed a Wi-Fi printer. This day, yes, I got a promotion, I got promoted. But, for example, another colleague tried. He could not do it. He was not able to set up this idiot, stupid printer. So today, this guy, what he's doing is write VBO scripts. He is an Excel developer. I suppose someone has to do it. Okay. But sometimes it's even not enough to know how to set up the printers. Last time I got a colleague who he told me, hey, Thomas, come to help me. In fact, my numbers are broken. My numbers are broken. So at this moment, it's where I can hit my skills, the numlock skills. They gave me a bonus for numlock skills. I saved the company thousands of man-hours, of course. But obviously, these are only the essential skills. Also useful, very useful, could be useful to nowadays, being able to repair some Android. You know, there's always a noob whose phone is full, who doesn't know how to root an Android. This kind of people, the kind of noob who respond to spam, you see? Actually, in this case, I prefer Apple because those guys, in fact, with iPhone are very proud. You know, the guys with iPhone are all very proud. They are like this, okay? They are with their Apple Watch, their iPhone. So you ask, if you ask them what time is it, they tell you, oh, don't you want Uber instead? So I say I prefer Apple and iPhone user because when they have an issue with their phone, I'm just saying, okay, why don't you go to the Genius bar? They have a Genius at Apple. And, but in fact, that's not only useful, because what also is very important at this stage is to master, in fact, the ability to come back in time to push to prod yesterday, in fact. Yeah, if you want to push live yesterday, not easy. But then, that's the basic skill you need to enter, to get ahead in your career today. And in reality, there are a lot of work in our sector. Yeah, of course, there are a lot of loads of job opportunities for us. We work on huge projects which will impact the life of millions or even billions of users nowadays. So, because of course we can speak about millions, billions, while we are talking about billions. Yeah, who are the biggest value creator in today's economy? Who are they? Coders, that's who, of course. Sometimes just a few link of code, a tiny program, can, of course, can earn a company billions of dollars, like just that. No, Volkswagen was just a very isolated case, not at all representative of the industry, of course. The majority of us respect our users and respect the work of our developer friends and peers, of course. That's why coders are among those who are the least likely to pirate software, right? Nobody is doing some. Okay, don't pay. This is it's a false positive, of course, and I'm not using Windows, of course. By the way, last time I got a candidate who come to interview, and I asked him, so which operating software do you master? He told me both Windows and macOS. Okay, one is missing. Oh, okay, let's get back to my mom. So I tried to explain why we are coder, where we come from, but at that point, by this point, she understood how. But I told her, if you want to recognize a coder, if you want to recognize them, they all share some small, I would say, features, small flaws, okay? And you make them easy to spot. For example, the relationship with the Control S. I don't know you, but the more you wait, the more you type Control S. Of course, we never know. Also, another coder skills, we see hardware. We can feel it inside. It's like a sixth sense. I cannot explain it, but you know, on this kind here, you know that this is a trap. Or here, you know what is a good download button. You know. Sometimes I think, whoa, some people must really struggle. In fact, have you ever had a super noob friend, you just wanted to say, hey, whoa, the internet must be hard for you. That must be hard, guy. But we may have super skills, but we coders, we also still struggle with some things, of course. I have a friend who is a CTO, so this kind of genius, who is able to, I don't know, he's doing a crazy thing, virtualization, he's multi-language, he manages code reviews, compilation of Linux kernel, he's doing everything, but there is one thing, he gets completely stuck, is naming variable. It's crazy. Frankly, sometimes I just wanted to just give up and go home because the only name that I can think of for the damn array of data was data. An array containing data. How the fuck do you want to name it? This is data. Another problem with coders, you can identify them like this. So it's the notion of time becomes completely relative. So you know when a coders tell you, okay, it will be ready in 5 minutes. So the 5 minutes will last 5 minutes before opening the project. And maybe just later it can become the 5 minutes, which means 1 hour. Just after checking out the project architecture. Sometimes the 5 minutes are becoming tomorrow, of course. And in some rare case, there is a 5 minutes, which means forget this forever. Leave me alone. We also have some, I would say, small flaws. We can maybe even say our little geek OCD compulsions. For example, boxes. Boxes. I don't know why, but we keep boxes. A few years ago, I was at a computer dealer. Okay, he told me to keep the boxes for the warranty. Okay, so I would say the gear is in the trash. The warranty is long past, but I still have the boxes. The Pentium 100 MHz, I probably have the box somewhere. You never know. You never know. And in fact, my mother used to tell me, and Jeremy, actually she still does sometimes. You're always on your computer, you don't have any friends, go outside, go get some fresh air. I say, no, we have Stack Overflow. I love Stack Overflow because you've got all kinds of people. Do you know this guy? In fact, that's the guy, I'm sure you know him, the guy who asked an extremely urgent question, which is say it's critical for the entire project, but this guy does not do a Google search, he does not read the documentation, he asks a question and then he waits. Even worse, I'm sure you know, is the guy who had the exact same problem than you, and will just reply the post, don't worry, I've solved it by. Give us the answer. Talking of forums, you can end up asking the strangest question on the forum. For example, not a long time ago, I asked a question on the forum about home automation. I'm into home automation. Of course, we are. What did you think? I'm a coder. So in funny, at the end, you can automate everything as a coder. So I had a problem with detecting light levels. Well, it's pretty straightforward. I just want I'm come home, and when it's dark, the light goes on. Okay, that's very. So at this moment, I ask a question on the forum, asking, okay, how do I tell if it is day or night? And then a guy told me, okay, look at the windows. That's a true story, and in fact, yes, he was not wrong. So it's true that, in fact, we are often in our geek caves. But we do leave from time to time, of course. We leave for going to meetings with clients or with colleagues to answer ultra-technical questions. So I remember last time, project manager came to me, told me, "Hey Thomas, come to the meeting with the client. Their technical director will be here. You have to come." Okay, fine. I'm an expert in the field, no problem. I'm coming. I will work up this thing. I'm going to the appointment. So the technical director is in fact a project manager. So after 2 hours of meeting, one ultra technical question. Do you develop in HTML5? I even say, yes, I'll give you CSS3, and that will be great. And this is how we lose 2 hours, 3 hours, an afternoon. And coders, we don't like to lose time. This is a kind of waste of time that annoys us. And in fact, there are quite a few ways to annoy a coder, and one of which is IDE. You must admit that coders are spending a lot of time on the computer. They develop a certain rapport, I would say, with their machine and with the IDE. In fact, we spend more time with the IDE than with our spouses. And as with spouses, in fact, IDEs don't like infidelity. So even if you just want to make a small change outside of the IDE, you can F5 all you want, but you can... No. And some days, you are just coming to work, you without changing anything, you turn on your computer and autocomplete is not working today. Probably I hit shortcut K, something. But in fact, there are some things that just make me mad in 2 seconds. It's crazy, in fact. And there is one of these things which can drive us crazy. I think I'm not alone. It's Chrome. Chrome, you give it more RAM. In fact, so this is Chrome. Say hi to Chrome. Yes, you're giving for more RAMs because your computer is slow. You don't know why, and you hope that he will share it and that will speed up your workstation. But obviously, you give it to Chrome. But for the IDEs. Yeah, unfortunately. So maybe some of you are not working with Chrome, you're kind of lucky. But that's a good browser anyway. So let's speak a little bit about web developer. Maybe some of you are not into web, but I am from this. And there is a way to upset a CSS developer. It's simple, you take his code and you break the cascade. Important is, I don't like it. Or if you want to upset a front-end developer, you just throw a couple of beer. You know, a beer. Not beer, a beer. They don't like, they hate beer. But another thing that makes me crazy, when you have to modify just, I don't know, a small few line of XML file or JSON file, you double-click. Mistake. Who can? Visual Studio. uh, 10 minutes later. Okay, 10 minutes lost. 10 minutes lost, that's still okay because we are losing so much time during the day. But 10 minutes lost, I remember another way to waste some time You download a little program to help you for anything, okay? You go, I don't know, on a SourceForge, okay? SourceForge. You know it seems trustworthy. So you click, then you are end of day, you next, 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 and suddenly, bam. So don't take easy the next. Yeah, of course, it takes the whole afternoon to clean up this mess. Or if you want something I like, so if you want to make your colleague crazy, you just show a very vague ticket. It's not working. Once I was feeling crazy, and so I just put exclamation marks in the tickets. They don't like it. Urgent in caps. But really, the most annoying thing for a coder, it's another coder. So speaking of how annoying to annoy a coder, the other day my mom asked me something. She asked me something that left me speechless, I would say. She looked me in the eye, very seriously, almost like it was a challenge. She asked me, what's wrong with Internet Explorer? Okay, let's be clear. 10 years of campaigning against Internet Explorer after pushing Mozilla and all that, I still get what's wrong with Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer 6. Microsoft is going to be leaving that down for generation. The generation. Of course, in 50, I think in 50 years, they'll have the CEO to say a public apology, we are sorry. Yeah. A whole generation of coders ruined. Yeah. But to comfort us, we get given nice presents for our birthday, for Christmas. As a coder, you can't avoid them. You can't avoid a useless USB something. Yeah. Or a very funny t-shirt. Yeah, a geek t-shirt. You can't avoid this. Or of course, they want to buy us a Star Wars on Blu-ray. So how do I put it? Okay, in fact, already it's simple. Either I already have it, or I don't want it because I have it on my NAS, okay? Another useless gift, almost depressing, a WinRAR license. Just give me the money instead of, we'll fund the side projects. Yeah, the side projects. Ha. So my mom asked me, what is a side project? Oh. Okay, I replied, it's very simple, Mom. A side project is a project that never really started and never really finished. Indeed, we have a lot of side projects, but at this point, again, my mom has started to understand what it means to be a coder, and of course, what code is. She realized that we often code. In fact, even in the evening or in the weekend. And so she asked me, you really like to code? This is something that you like it's your hobby, do you enjoy it? Yeah, in fact, we like it, even if sometimes we have some doubt. Of course, we have some doubt. Because all these frameworks, these libraries, neat plugging, sometimes at the end is not just to display the right advert at the right time to the right user. Maybe sometime. But no, I exaggerate. When we write a neat function, you remember sometimes you write a neat function. That's a lot of people use. That make it all worthwhile, The great function that you write. There are some functions that are so pretty that we'd like even to frame them and put them on your wall, of course. So concise, so tidy, indentation, magnificent. But again, sometimes I have some moments of doubt. Like when I read my code from a year ago, you know? Each time I say to myself, oh, did I write this? I must have been drunk. Am I only here to write every year stupid code? Maybe. Maybe I should do something else. Maybe I should do something else, I don't know. But in fact, no, you know why? I know I have a bug on one of my frameworks, so you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to go to fix my bugs, and so don't lose any second. So thanks for your time, happy to have seen you, have a good afternoon, and see you soon. Bye.